My name is Colin. I manage our Los Gatos location at Summit Bicycles. I also manage corporate sales, municipality sales, stuff like that. I've been with the company for just over 10 years as of last month, and I ride a 2022 Trek Rail 9.9 AXS. This is replacing my 2020 Rail 9.9 AXS, which is previously my favorite bike that I've ever owned, and this one is now my favorite bike that I've ever owned. Geometry is a little bit updated. Seat tube is a little bit steeper. Head tube's a little slacker. Reach is a little bit longer. It's all the things that you'd want to see on the progressive geometry on a trail bike, or kind of a borderline enduro bike.
Why do you ride an e-bike?
I ride an e-bike because I have less time to ride now than I ever have. And with my e-bike, I can do the rides around the store in Los Gatos because we're lucky enough to have a bunch of trails around there. I can get my ride done in about 45 minutes instead of an hour and a half.
What parts are you most particular about on your bike?
Boy, I guess working for a bike shop, I don't think there's anything that I'm not pretty particular about. But if I had to say anything, it's probably tires.
So what's your tire choice?
Currently in the summer, I like the Maxxis Assegai in the front, the EXO Plus casing, so it's just like one step lighter duty than like their DH casing. And in the rear, I use a double down Maxxis Aggressor. Rolls fast, really grippy in the center, and has plenty of sidewall support when you're going around corners with a 45-pound bike.
What parts did you swap out on your rail?
Let's see, what did I swap out on my rail? I swapped out my saddle, used an Ergon mountain bike. To be honest, I'm not exactly sure what the model is, but it's got a center channel, it's wider, super supportive, really comfy. I use Ergon grips with a little bit more support on the palm, so I don't get the numbness or tingling from too much pressure on the palm.
What pedals do you use?
Yeah, Deity T-Mac pedals. Definitely my favorite flat platform pedal I've ever used.
What do you like most about the rail?
I think what I like most about the rail is that it legitimately feels like a normal bike. I think that the latest iteration of this bike with the Bosch motor does a really good job of being smooth and doesn't make me feel like I'm not getting a good workout in, or not having the same experience I would on a normal trail bike.
That bike's got a ton of electronics on it. How do you integrate those into your into riding?
Yeah, great question. I think that this thing has, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different batteries on it.
Lithium argon liquid battery, good for 500 hours.
There's an app that SRAM makes called the SRAM Access app or something like that. And that integrates most of the electronic parts on the bike. So the shocks both have what's called an air whiz on them. So it's got a little light that will tell you when you wake it up in the morning if your air pressure is within the range that you want it to be. Same thing with the tires. Tire whiz basically just tells you by just looking at the flashing light if your tire pressure is where you want it to be. Dropper post and derailleur both link with that same app. And then there's also a separate app for the Bosch system. So head unit, Bluetooth stuff. I haven't really gotten too into that, to be honest.
If you could change anything about the bike, what would you change?
That's a good question. My previous rail, I had retrofitted a Fox DHX2 coil shock on the rear, and I had a Fox 38, the Grip 2 damper, the most buttery smooth fork that I've ever ridden. And I can't quite get this new Zeb Ultimate to feel like that, but I'm gonna give it another chance when I get it rebuilt by Ford, our lead suspension mechanic. Hopefully he can make it feel the same. But yeah, I'd say suspension, probably. This is certainly a lot better than the stock suspension that came on my 2020 rail, but if I had to nitpick, I'd probably say the fork and shock. My name's Colin. This is my bike check. Thanks for watching.